It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Hello, Kathryn.
Hey, Frank.
Happy 51.
Thank you. Not my birthday.
No. You're nowhere near. Neither of us are anywhere near 51.
Thank goodness.
Although if you actually think about it and you slice it down the middle, never mind. We'll move on from that. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Smashing that button.
And spreading the word. I got a message from my friend Bean the other day. He says, I have confidence, he says, that you will make it to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And, we're at like 600, really nice. 652, 3, something
Climbing,
like that. 4.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. So we're trying to work our way up.
Just like Mo, the turtle.
There he is,
slowly
right there.
Slowly but surely. Very
slowly and not that surely. We do have one way to spread the word about the Frank and Friends show is, of course, with our merch. And I was going to say it's too hot. We're looking at temperatures in the 90s.
Yeah.
Possible record temperatures on Friday tomorrow. And I won't say that number on the radio anymore because it's the number of my old station.
Oh,
when I worked at that station, I used to always round up the temperature to be that number.
Nice. Well, of course.
Yeah, but now that I work against them, I can't say it's going to be 104 degrees. No one's going to believe me.
Right. Unless you were in Texas.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was thinking it's too hot for the Frank and Friends hoodie, but then it occurs to me that when you go to the beach, or if you live in the desert, or on certain nights, it's just lovely to have a hoodie.
Yeah, that's true.
So get one for your beach trip. Yeah. And what else you can get for your beach trip is the
Frank and Friends show beach towel.
Let's see if I can hold it up right side up this time, Kathryn, because I usually fail.
Yeah, well,
there it is. Right. Look at that.
Look at that. It's so nice.
Pretty. I like beach towels.
Yeah, they're great.
I like this one so much I don't want to use it. I don't want to besmirch it with my stains of sweat and
I know, we talked about you getting a second one.
Well, I have a second one. I don't want to make, I can't bear to soil either of them.
So silly. You can find all of that at thefrankandfriendshow.com/store website.
Thank you. All right. Sorry, I've got to adjust. This is, just got this shirt back from the...
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen you wear this like bright orange.
Well,
is this new?
It's actually, I just never wear it because I was scarred. I was emotionally scarred.
Are you afraid of this color?
Not anymore.
Because I do know somebody who's afraid of red.
Who?
It was a director I worked with once upon a time.
Sorry, is he watching?
No.
So he's not like...
It was a she.
She? Sorry,
yeah, but we actually had to remove everything red.
That's weird.
Right. So is that your thing with this orange?
No.
I mean, you're emotionally scarred, so...
Well,
how scarred?
When I first moved here, so 20 years ago,
yeah.
I was supposed to go out to... my wife and family hadn't even gotten here yet. I was living alone. And I'm supposed to go out to dinner with my radio partner, Phil Williams, and his wife, and the general manager and his wife. It's kind of the wives are going to get to know the new guy who is spending all that time with their husbands,
That's
right?
Nice.
And my wife's not in town, so they just say, we're going to go to someplace nice. It was like a Calhoun's or somewhere on Kingston Pike.
Someplace nice.
And I thought, and he had told me, I need to get orange clothing for living in Tennessee. So I went somewhere. I don't know if I went to the Belk department store or somewhere, but I went to a store and bought an orange shirt. And I thought, that wasn't that hard. And I wear it to dinner.
But it was the wrong orange.
You noticed.
Well, I mean...
I was naive. I didn't know about PMS 151. I didn't even know about PMS at that point. I didn't know about, the only 151 I knew was the rum that my dad used to do the public relations for, the Bacardi 151. We always had a bottle of it around the house.
Nice.
But I didn't know that the official University of Tennessee color on the, what is it called, Pantone matching system?
I guess, yeah.
PMS, Pantone something system.
Right.
Is number 151. And that's how you get the UT orange, which is very distinct.
Of course.
So I show up for dinner in this shirt, and I felt like a dummy.
Because you were they also wearing orange?
Well, mostly because Phil said, that's the wrong color, dummy. But I didn't know. He said, that's Florida orange. How dare you show up?
And Gator orange. Yeah, that's
Gator
true.
Orange. Now, thankfully,
that's
it wasn't football season. It was
Yeah,
springtime.
you would have been in big trouble then.
And I did. And then I also found out that how hard it is to buy UT orange around here that isn't logoed.
Well, yeah.
Because everything's got the Tennessee logo on it and licensed and whatnot. So my trick has been over the years is when I'm traveling, like when I'm up in Virginia, this is closer to, it's like a Florida orange, but it's almost not quite Virginia Tech rusty orange.
Rusty,
but the point is when you go up to these other places, where the Cavaliers play or the Hokies play, or better yet, just all the way up to Northern Virginia, You can buy orange in the store that resembles UT orange. They won't have it down here. It sells out too quick.
That's true.
So all the orange ties and shirts that I have that are UT-ish have been bought out of town.
Oh, that's nice.
That's my secret.
Yeah.
I guess I could buy them online, but I don't.
You could, but
hadn't thought of that.
I mean, the UT orange here is different than the UT orange in Texas.
Because they're more of a rusty.
It's like almost a brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So this shirt has been in the closet for 20 years, and I wouldn't wear it, and it was all kind of wrinkly and everything. So I didn't tell my wife this. I just put it in with the dirty shirts, and had it. You can see how I had it all pressed and everything. So I had it cleaned and pressed. It wasn't dirty, but I had it all cleaned and pressed to see how I would like it, and see if I could fit into it 20 years later. And sadly, I can.
You definitely can. It's nice and bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not football season, so that's why I wore that. So there you go.
I see you're wearing your wedding ring today.
What do you mean today?
I mean, a lot of times you have it on your key ring or something.
Well,
what is this about?
Well, I'm wearing it because we're on camera together. Of course, I'm going to wear my wedding ring on camera next to you.
Yeah.
Are you wearing yours?
Of course.
Right.
I always wear mine. Unless I'm on stage.
Playing a strumpet.
Right.
We'll get to that.
Stay tuned.
I have so many strumpet questions. But no, you're right. Lately, and this, I'm sad because this is my fat ring. Do you have two? Well, when we first got married, I had a cheap wedding ring because we didn't have money. They say the more expensive your wedding and reception are, the more likely you are to get divorced.
Right.
So my wife and I told her, I said, I'm sorry, Jere, you're stuck with me forever because our wedding reception was so cheap.
Same with ours.
Poor Bean, my friend Bean, he was the DJ. I didn't pay him anything. He just came and did it out of the kindness of his heart.
We went to a bar that our favorite band always played at on Tuesday nights. And we just went there, and they were our wedding band.
That's smart.
We didn't pay them anything either. And they made a big deal about us and everything because we told them that we were coming.
Why wouldn't you? If you showed up at Einstein Simplified, we'd make a big deal.
Right, exactly. So that's a good idea for a wedding.
Somebody hired Einstein Simplified to perform at their renewal of vows. We're going to be at the Schultzbrow. It's not public, you can't go, but it's at the Schultzbrow Beer Hall for somebody's. We're going to be their wedding reception entertainment, but it's a renewal of vows. But you're right. Anyway. This was the ring I bought on the day of the O.J. Simpson slow-speed chase.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's amazing.
My wife and I went to a mall where Bean's wife, Bean again, his wife was working at was studying gemology and while she got her gemology certificate degree thing, was working at a jewelry store up in Valencia. So we go there so I can I don't think we intended to buy a new wedding ring, but Jere had a stone of some kind that needed to be dealt with.
Sure.
And I bought a new, more comfortable wedding ring. But lately, I don't know if I'm retaining water or what's wrong with me, but it's been uncomfortable.
Oh, really? It's getting too tight?
I'm worried about losing it, so I took it, because what happened was, I had it on my pinky. And I went to the Tennessee Theater. In fact, I was there with you.
And you had it on your pinky?
And your husband. Yeah. And my wife was on stage singing.
Right.
In Mephistopheles, and I...
right, and it fell in the toilet. Didn't it?
Did I already tell you?
I think you told me that, yeah.
Oh.
No, I just knew.
Because I got freaked out there for a second.
That's hilarious.
Wait a second. How does Freddie know that I dropped my ring?
I told you last time. I remember everything.
How do you know that I dropped my ring in the toilet, in the men's room at the Tennessee Theater, and then had to fish it out?
I think because you came back into the theater
after
just
intermission.
as it was getting ready to start, and you go, my wedding ring fell in the toilet. You can use that later.
Well, then I thought I had escaped in a moment of weakness. So that's why lately, you saw yesterday when we were at PBS recording those pledge breaks, what I had done.
You put it on your keyring.
Because I was going to be on camera with you. When you're on camera with a woman, you want to wear your wedding ring, is what I'm trying to say. That's, because my wife might watch. So I took it off the ring and put it on my finger, while we were doing our pledge breaks for the Brit Floyd live from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What was it called? Brit Floyd, live from Amsterdam.
Live from Amsterdam, space and time.
Space and time. I was going to say rise and shine.
Space and time. Well, that's interesting. So let me understand this correctly. You only wear this on camera now. Always
I wear it to church.
Okay, so you wear it to church and you wear it on camera, but the rest of the time it's on your keyring. Because you're worried that
what I need to do is
can you get it resized?
Yeah, I can, but you see, or I just need to eat less salt. There's something, or maybe I'm dying. Maybe something's wrong with me.
No, I think you probably just need to get it resized.
All right.
But,
I feel stupid. Why don't I just lose weight? That's what I'm going to do.
Well, James, you men in your wedding rings, I swear. So when we got married and we were picking out the wedding bands, he had never really worn jewelry before.
Yeah, well, look at me. This is I have nothing on but jewelry-wise but this ring.
Right, and he had never worn a ring, so same kind of situation. And he wanted to, I was like, you should get one that's like really comfortable. So we found like the comfort fit version.
That's what this is supposed to be.
Right. And he was just so afraid that he would lose it that he ended up getting a size that's probably like a half size too small to start with.
That erases the comfort.
Correct. And I was like, but he was like, I want it to be really tight. I don't want to lose it.
No.
And I was trying to encourage him. I was like, yeah, but you really should go up just like a half size, because in the winter it's going to be a little looser, but in the summer it's going to be even worse.
Well, one thing I do when it gets too tight is actually run the ring under hot water, and it expands slightly, and I can slide it off.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has to take it off at night a lot of times,
yes,
just to rest his hand and his finger.
Well, I'll tell you, and this is a little bit sad, but right before my dad died and we took him to the hospital, they had to cut his ring off of him because it was so tight.
Yeah.
But then I later paid to have it fixed for my mom and put back together.
Yeah. So James was working on his production of Fledermaus for UT, and he's
I went to that.
Lifting. You did, and it was good. And he was lifting all of this stuff around, and he hit his finger on one of the pieces of furniture, and so it started to swell. So he took his ring off because it was hurting.
Yeah.
Put it in his pocket, and then couldn't find it.
Oh,
so
I know that feeling.
I'm out of town. He doesn't tell me. So he gets to Florida. He has this wedding ring.
Where you are. He meets you in Florida.
He meets me in Florida, and I see on the side table of this wedding ring. I'm like, your wedding ring looks so shiny. Did you get it cleaned? And he's like, well, about that, he had bought a new one because he had lost the old one, but the new one was too big, way too big. So he starts telling me the story, and he put it in his pocket. Hold on, it gets so much better. It's great. So he tells me I put the wedding ring in my pocket, and then later I found out that my pocket had a hole in it. And so he thought the ring fell out of the pocket.
How old is your husband? He sounds like a 6-year-old.
I know, right?
I put a frog in my pocket. I put a rock in my pocket. Whatever I put in my pocket, it fell out the hole. I mean, this sounds like it sounds like a story that I would hear from the Rocket Brothers.
I mean, he's an only child.
Okay.
What can you do?
Sorry, James.
So I know. So he has this whole story, and he searches the house, and he can't find one, so he goes buys one. So that's great. Fast forward. I get home a day before James.
He does, right?
Yeah.
Because you had taken separate cars. Obviously, you took separate cars. You were down there a month ahead of him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm cleaning up because he left some plates out.
How old did I already ask? Excuse me. I'm not trying to think I'm senile, but did I already ask how old he is?
So on the coffee table,
right? Is it 5? Yeah,
okay. So on the coffee table, there's plates and stuff, and I'm cleaning it up and putting it in the dishwasher. I walk back over to the coffee table, and on the coffee table is James's wedding ring.
That he lost.
Because
he's got the big one in Florida, and now the small one from your actual wedding.
Correct.
Is in Knoxville.
In Knoxville. And I said, this is why you have to call me when you lose something, because I can help you find it, even if I'm not there. Because I could walk you through the situation.
How did it end up, if it fell out of his pocket, how did it end up on the coffee table?
I don't think it fell out. It didn't fall out of his pocket,
okay, because I had a vision of him standing on the coffee table, right, and the ring falling out and down his trousers and landing on the coffee table.
I think just because he couldn't find it, that was what he thought must have happened,
sure.
But he had looked all upstairs and everywhere, but he forgot to think, retrace his steps,
Now I'll tell you, James, that's why I started putting it on my keyring, because I would leave it next to the radio microphone, or I would leave it in the room where I edit the podcast, and I've got a scoop dish next to my bed that is just for the ring. I've got a place for
nice.
it, and when I don't put it in its place, then I go nuts, about this. So that's why when it's not in its place, I'm putting it literally on the key ring.
That would mean he would have to know where his keys were, though.
How old is?
or his wallet. Yesterday he couldn't find his wallet.
Do you remember?
We have to put like little bells on everything that he owns.
It's funny that you can do that, because there was a comedian, Roseanne Barr, back before she was canceled, used to say one of her famous comedy lines, and earlier in her career before the TV show, was, "My uterus is not a tracking device." That was her big punchline, because the whole bit was, how everyone would ask her, "Mom, where's this? Mom, where's that?"
Yeah.
And the husband.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's impressive that you were able to find the keys, the wallet, and the everything. That's good. That's good. Well, this episode, Kathryn.
Yes.
I have decided.
Dun dun dun. Drum roll.
Is brought to you by Marble City Opera.
I know Marble City Opera.
You are Marble City Opera.
That must be why I know that.
I was talking you up, obviously, to people, and I was actually probably the PBS guys, maybe after you left. They were talking about how they were excited about maybe working with you on a project, and they wondered like if that. I said, no, she is Marble City Opera. You deal with Kathryn, then everything's going to be terrific, because you're putting on a production of The Copper Queen.
Yep. The Copper Queen is by Clint Borzoni and John De Los Santos, and
Are they coming in? One of them's coming in for it.
well, John is here directing the production, and Clint, the composer, is actually going to come to a performance.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's really exciting, and it's going to be at the Flying Anvil Theater at 7:30 on
Super.
June 2nd, 4th, and 5th. No, yes,
Yeah, June
2nd.
Well, we can look it up.
2, 3.
You should know this.
2, 3, 4.
I'll look at
I just skipped a day.
marblecityopera.com/tickets. But if you've ever been to Flying Anvil, I would like you to go, because it's very comfortable. They invested. I mean, even when I interviewed Jane Morgan recently, she talked about, people really like the chairs.
They're really comfortable chairs.
You'd be surprised. And this is not even that long of a show. It's
It's a 90-minute show.
Yeah.
It's goes back and forth between 1910 and 2010, and it's about Julia Lowell, who was actually a woman who lived in the Copper Queen, the hotel in Bisbee, Arizona.
I called her a ghostitute.
I mean,
Strumpet.
Yeah, she's a whore.
So you were telling me about some of the scenes that you're rehearsing with the Johns,
The guys,
the clientele, the men, and as you're describing them, I had this thought that we were for our show supposed to do a horseback riding episode, and you said, I don't want to do that.
I'm like, no.
Before the Copper Queen, because I'll need time to recover. And now I'm wondering if you're going to need time to recover from the Copper Queen before we can do the horseback episode, or will the Copper Queen properly you'll be all stretched out and all ready to go, and you'll be all limbered up for the horseback riding episode.
Terrible.
That's what I'm thinking. So who else is in the show?
So we have David Salviano.
These are all the lucky guys who get to wrestle on stage.
We all have very intimate scenes together. Yeah. So David Salviano is the tenor.
Would you say it's rated PG, R?
Definitely PG or PG-13.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not R, but it's it's violent and.
Well, it's in 1910.
1910.
You're in the copper mining territory
Exactly.
with ruffians.
Right.
And your character is a woman of the night.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's very strong, and she the first scene, it shows her very in control. So Jacob Lay plays the role of Sugar Dog, and he's the first client, and
he's
he's
good.
very silly.
Yeah.
Like his character's very silly. He has like the Muppet feet and everything. And it's great. But he gets tied up to the bed. And then we have Daniel Spiotta, who's another local Knoxville singer, baritone, and he
only just moved here a year ago when he did Tosca with you, right? So he's relatively new to
he's
town.
relatively new. He moved here during COVID, but he's a fantastic performer, and he is playing the role of Mr. Ackerman, which is really like the toughest the toughest incident, one of them.
All right.
And then you have David Salviano, who's playing the tenor role, who's the love interest, and he's very sweet, and so you fall in love with these two characters. And then you have Graham and Dory, who's playing the role of Mr. Lowell, Julia's dad, who owns the Copper Queen. And
so he's actually, his sin is kind of trafficking his daughter.
correct.
Oh.
Yeah, like he makes.
Oh yeah,
it all happen.
that makes it
He's
kind of
pretty
R.
gross. Yeah,
That makes it kind of R. Yeah.
and he also plays the owner of the hotel in 2010 as well.
Okay.
So he's
it's
the only
like-
character that goes back and forth between the times.
It's like Biff in Back to the Future.
Yes.
It's the same actor, but it's like a different generation.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like he's 100 years old. It'd be like a relative.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it.
Yeah, and
I
then
get you.
we have Sarah Krieger who came in from Nashville, and she's playing the role of Addison Moore. So Addison Moore, like Sarah basically has a one-woman show that happens through 2010.
Yeah.
And then all the other characters are,
okay.
you know,
because her
past.
character, she's curious about the past, and she goes deliberately to the hotel where Julia Lowell had died.
Right.
You know, in the 1910s.
Right.
She kind of, and then feels the ghostly presence of you as
So
Julia.
I appear to her in the last scene.
All right.
And she also interacts with Graham's character who in the 2010s. So yeah, it's
Well,
really fun.
MarbleCityOpera.com/tickets. So now, as you know, I'm on the board, well, you may not know, I'm on the board of Marble City Opera, and I'm just trying to earn as many gold stars as I can so that when my time comes to roll off the board, I can just say, thank you very much.
Salut.
So I made that joke at the board meeting, and April Hill turns to me and says, you're never getting off.
Good for
You're
April.
never. You're in it forever.
Well, you know, I mean, like the more good deeds you do and the more gold stars you get, like then
No,
you
I'm
might
trying to-
have to end up in an honorary board
No, I don't
position,
want
you
that.
know?
No,
like,
no, no,
well,
no,
you
no.
know, the honorary, you don't have to do anything.
That's true. You can
You
just
know,
send me
so
the
you just-
honorary minutes, which would be a
That's
blank
right.
page.
Yeah. As per your request. I think that would be fun. We definitely have to do
Someone
that.
suggested that we have honorary board members and they would get copies of the minutes. I'm like, they don't want to read the minutes, just send them honorary minutes. And they would be like, well, then you can write the honorary minutes. I said, absolutely, there's nothing in them. So if they don't want to do work, they don't have to read minutes. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's it. MarbleCityOpera.com/tickets. So that's a nice little plug there for you.
Yeah, thank you. That was a long plug, so sorry about
Well,
that.
I mean, no, well, it's also, it's so important. I mean, that's what we are, obviously, our lives are intertwined because of this show, but also I'm on the board of the opera company, so I want to help you sell tickets.
Yeah, well, it's
And-
important for people to know what it's about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
your life right now is, I mean, I'm surprised you're here. I'm thankful that you're here, but the fact that you were able to, sandwich me in between a couple of rehearsals is great for me.
Thanks.
And the other
Yeah.
secret is that, we have to do our Seymour Smokies episodes, so we wore ourselves out recording 4 of them in 2 days.
Yeah, yeah.
So we still have, and 2 more of those that have to come out. So this weekend, I'll be putting out the Andy's Frozen Custard episode.
Oh, yay. I'm excited about that one.
Yes, I'm very excited.
That custard was so good.
So fantastic. And I almost wore the shirt that I wore to Andy's because I got it back from the cleaner when I got this one back.
Is it all clean?
I assume it's still in plastic
Oh, you haven't
upstairs,
checked, yeah.
but I mean they've never made a mistake yet.
That's good.
'Cause they go to the best cleaners. So
Yeah, good.
So you've been that one of those days. I think it was one of the Seymour Smokies days. I needed you to drive.
Because the dumpster was still in the driveway?
We had some work done around the house, and one of the work crews, I guess it was the siding crew, multiple crews. The roofing crew did this last year. The siding crew, they just assign, somebody drops off a dumpster, and they park at your driveway. It's a different company, so the workers can throw all of the detritus from the the pieces of siding that are discarded.
Right.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. The packaging, the everything. They clean up.
There's a lot of trash.
They go around the whole house, and they would sometimes with magnets. They're looking to pick up every little thing.
Wow.
They clean up everything, and then it all goes in the dumpster. So then the dumpster's here for another day, and I started thinking,
What are we going to do?
I got to put some stuff in the dumpster.
I thought about bringing stuff for the dumpster.
I invited you to.
I know, and then I forgot.
And I invited next door neighbor Ted to put some in, and I don't think he did either.
But you know what? I was just really glad that after the dumpster was gone,
Yeah.
that I was able to save this little bunny.
So where did that come from?
It was in the driveway.
Where the dumpster used to be?
Yes, and he was supposed to be in the dumpster, I guess. But
So what must have happened is when they picked up the dumpster to tow it away, and it goes
he
up on an
jumped out.
angle, he fell out. Well, I'm trying to figure out where that must have
He was
come
like,
from.
I'm not going in there. And he was like, ah.
Because well, a couple of things happened. Like the first couple of nights after the dumpster, I don't know where Jere was, but I thought I'm going to go and under the back screen porch, which is behind us, under the podcast porch, and there's a bunch of junk under there from, say, the pool. There's like an old metal tube that you would wrap a pool cover on that we never used.
Nice.
And there's just all sorts of just junk under there. Metal rebar that I found. All this yard work I've been doing, I keep finding garbage buried in the yard.
So you started just throwing it all over?
Under this, well, no, I put it under the house.
Okay.
So then I kept it all. I schlepped it all out to the dumpster. I'm thinking, okay, now they're coming. And the dumpster, they didn't come. So days go by, weeks go by, and my wife and I are about to go out of town. In fact, right after it was on Cinco de Mayo. So we're headed out of town for Artie's first communion on 6 de Mayo. And you had dropped me off.
Yep.
And Jere says, you know what I'd really like to do before they take away the dumpster, and in case they take away the dumpster while we're out of town, is get rid of some of the stuff down in the basement.
Smart.
And I'm still dressed in my nice TV shorts.
Okay.
And stuff. And so
And you've had a margarita or two.
I know. It was probably a bad choice. So we go downstairs, and she says, they're in this room, and she opens up this, like the gross room that's not finished part of the basement. It's
okay. Oh, that's exciting.
It's under the front porch, and it's just
nice.
cinder block, and it's like moist and damp, and there's
Nice.
a dehumidifier in there that's full, but I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And it's just gross. So there's some things in there, like an old computer desk that we had in California, and an old chest of drawers, tiny little chest of drawers that we moved here from California.
Nice.
But they both got broken by the movers in the transport, and for whatever reason, we didn't throw them out 20 years ago. They've been in this collecting mildew.
Right.
So now we have to pick them up and touch them, and they're covered in mildew. And my wife's horrified for this. So we put on our
gloves and stuff.
No, we just put on aprons, which was not enough coverage.
No, probably gloves and a hazmat suit.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Would have been smart. So I'm carrying these. Actually, what I did was I kicked it and broke it into more pieces to make it easier. I'd rather make more trips
totally,
than try to manage
get it all up the
this
stairs.
Thing. But the mildew is getting all over my apron, and ended up getting on my shorts, and ended up getting on everything. And I get this old computer desk, which is really a cheapo thing,
Sure.
out there into the garbage. And then she wants to start taking this chest of drawers. I'm like, well, I have to look. We can't just throw it out. I have to look and see what's inside of it.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the drawers are all in upside down, which I guess the movers had done.
Oh, interesting.
So this thing has not been opened in 20 years.
Wow.
And that's where I think
Little Bunny was?
Maybe, or Jere threw out some old Easter decorations that were in that room and had gotten gross.
Yeah.
So this was sat out there for a week and got rained on. So actually he got kind of cleaned by nature. But as I'm opening these drawers, I'm finding cassette tapes that have WAVA on them from when I worked there in the
cassette tapes.
Late 1980s, early 1990s. And I thought, I can't throw this out. It's Donny Osmond's Soldier of Love album.
Do you have anything to play them on? Okay, so you kept the cassette tapes.
I don't. Well, one of them apparently had some kind of bit that I'd done, or some kind of jingle or some kind of thing. So I don't know. I couldn't. Anyway, I saved a few of those. And Jere's thrown out most of the stuff. And one of the other items that I found in this chest of drawers was a Kevin and Bean coffee mug.
Oh, that's fun.
And, I talk about my friend Bean all the time.
Yeah.
And it's from the world famous K-Rock.
That's great.
And when Frank Jr. was a little kid, they had brought him into the studio because they liked the way he said K-Rock.
Nice.
And they use that on so many sweepers. You have the big voice guy going 106.7, the world famous, and then little Frank Jr. going K-Rock.
Nice. That's fun.
Yeah. So I found that in this chest of drawers. That was one of the adventures. But then to now we're going out of town. Mm-hmm. I am covered in mildew. I've got my T-shirt, my apron, my Food Network apron that I love to wear, and my nice shorts. The nice shorts. Remember, I made when we went to the Cinco de Mayo party, how stressed I was
about what you were going to wear,
about what shoes I was going to wear, and about what socks I was going to wear, and about what shorts I was going to wear because it was hot.
Yeah.
I couldn't wear long pants, but I just bought these new shorts at Sam's Club.
So they're brand new shorts that you just got destroyed with mildew?
So Jere says they're like golf shorts. They're meant to be durable.
Okay.
They're rugged. They're kind of rugged, but they look nice.
That's good.
Like they're not Arnold Palmer, but think of some famous golfer like Greg Norman maybe, who now has his own brand of clothes. So they had them at Sam's Club. They were discounted. I bought them. They fit. They look nice. But now I've got mildew on them. So what do? We put them in the laundry. Right?
Sure.
It's a short load of everything she's wearing.
Right.
And this is the two of us, the night before we're going out of town, stripping down to our underwear to throw everything into the laundry.
Like you do.
And then go finish packing and go on the trip. Right?
Right.
So we get good a ways up 81 toward Virginia.
Yeah.
And I turn to Jere and say, I didn't put the clothes in the dryer.
Oh my God.
And she says she didn't either. So
no. So now you're going to come home to a pile of mildewy clothes in the washing machine. Do you have to wash them 2 or 3 times then after that just to
Yeah. But
Nice.
you've seen me in them since. I mean,
so
because
that's
I was
good.
back on Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
or so they.
They don't look like mildew anymore.
No, they came. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
The wash
That's good.
did a good job. We put extra of these things in there.
That's good.
Those balls of goo. We never had those.
Soap.
Yeah, I never had the goo balls before. You know, they're not Tide Pods, but I never understood Tide Pods. And apparently, you just throw them in with the clothes.
Oh yeah, I still use the liquid.
Yeah, we always had those. But Jere, for whatever reason, I guess these were on sale, and bought some. I don't know. I can't see them from here, but some brand of goo balls.
Yeah.
And I had never. It was my first time trying to.
Do they work well? I guess so.
Well, they did. Yeah. I mean, because I threw a few extra
And you
things.
just like throw it in there with them?
Yeah, Jere said, don't put it on the top or don't put it on the bottom or whatever it is. She gave me some instructions.
Okay.
And I did those things, and it worked out fine.
Okay. That scares
So
me.
I know, but it was just so one of those weird things where it's like, here it is. It's 11 o'clock at night. We're going out of town at first thing the next morning, and we're hauling, just trying to get stuff in the dumpster because we're thinking this is it. This is our last chance.
Right.
We get back from the trip, and the dumpster was here for another week.
Oh, that's great.
And that's when a week later,
When I found
we
the
did
little
the next,
bunny.
when we did the next episodes, which was what was that, Moonshine Mountain Coaster and the Red Skelton
Red
Tribute
Skelton,
Theater.
yep.
That's when they took away the dumpsters while we were at.
And I was walking out back
Red
to my car,
Skelton's.
and I was like, "Look, there's a bunny."
Yeah.
And so, I think Jere was like ready to throw it away, but
Yeah, she
because I
was.
was like, "Well, it's so cute," she was like, "Okay, I'll keep it." Kathryn thinks it's cute.
Well, it's yours now. Take it away. Jerry's.
She was gonna save it for the little kiddos.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess
she
she
might
can.
like it.
All right. Well, anyway, it's a rabbit. It's a bunny holding a carrot for some Easter decorations that we tried to throw away, and
I
apparently
rescued.
could
because
not.
You can't throw away this cute little bunny.
All right. If you enjoy podcasts like this one, and who wouldn't, you can check us out on Audible and also get all of Audible's entertainment when you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow.
That's right. And when you go there and you sign up for a free trial, you can download any item and keep it.
During that first 30 days, you get one download credit for an MP3 to keep, and then you continue to earn those credits as you become a member. But my point is, during the trial, the 30-day trial period, you get all the benefits of a full membership. You get that download that you would. You get to listen to everything that's available.
And
it's worth it.
Transfers over all of your devices, so it'll
Yeah.
save your place, just like a little bookmark. So
Yeah, so you can
Great.
listen on the app on the phone, on the iPad, on the Kindle.
In your car.
Certain Kindles have that, yeah.
on your phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
all
all
the
good.
places.
Or I like the Amazon Echo is my main thing.
Yeah.
Although I have been fighting with her lately.
She's been feisty.
If I don't say it exactly the same way every day, I'm like, well, anyway, that's not on them. That's on me. So check out audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow. Also, we thank you for buying the merchandise. I'm going to lean over and try to get that beach towel a second appearance.
Great.
Here it is.
Where you can find all great things like these mugs and the cell phone cases. And as you're getting ready for the summer and going on all those beach trips, or if you have a pool, get a Frank and Friends Show towel.
It's nice.
You can find those at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
Yeah. And t-shirts are t-shirt
T-shirts.
season. It definitely is. And I think we even have tank tops.
We do.
And some kind of woman's tee that's flowy.
A flowy woman's
dramatic.
tee.
I don't know
It's fabulous.
Don't know what that means exactly. It doesn't sound good when I say it. Maybe it's probably a better word for it.
Well, I liked the gestures,
Yeah,
though. You
that's
know,
fine.
like it's like a flowy woman's tea. You know, makes it even fancier.
Yeah, it just sounds like something you'd have it Downton Abbey. Okay. All right. That's about it. Thanks for watching, telling your friends about us, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Help us get to 1,000, and then
Don't forget to smash that button.
for notifications, so you can check out, especially because the this kind of episode, the podcast episode, is on audio and video, but the Seymour Smokies ones are video only because that's what they are. They're videos of us going around and doing stuff in the Smokies. So you'll want to definitely see the Andy's Frozen Custard coming up this weekend.
Absolutely.
All right. Kathryn, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with another one, trying to post these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And while you're in town, I'm going to take full advantage of it. Don't forget the Copper Queen at Marble City Opera at the Flying Anvil Theater, June 2, 3, and 4, marblecityopera.com/tickets.
Thank you.
All right. This is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you again next time.